The Wolf Among Us 2 is real. I need you to sit with that for a second because a lot of us stopped believing it years ago. It got announced in 2019. Then it went so quiet that Is Wolf Among Us 2 canceled became a permanent search suggestion. 6 full years of nothing but the occasional, hey guys, it's not dead tweet, which is exactly what you say when something is a little bit dead. And then at Summer Game Fest, Bigby walked back onto the stage like he just stepped out to buy cigarettes. New trailer, 2027 window, and a remaster of the original dropping this holiday so the newcomers can catch up. So the wolf is back, which means it is finally legally, morally, and spiritually the correct time to do the thing I've wanted to do for years, rank them. Telltale Games top 10, and I already know how this ends, and so do you, but we're going to do the other 9 first because I have opinions and you're stuck with me. Let's talk about the studio that made choice-based storytelling a genre and then choice-based storytelling itself into bankruptcy. Number 10, Batman the Telltale series. Here's the pitch that should not work. What if you played as Bruce Wayne and the game cared more about the guy in the suit than the bat? Telltale looked at the most adapted character in human history and went, yeah, but what if his dad was a criminal? And it kind of rules. The Bruce versus Batman dialogue system where you pick which mask you're wearing in a conversation. That's a genuinely smart idea buried in a series that most people slept on. It's number 10 because the tech was held together with duct tape and hope, and the second season lost the thread. But swinging that hard at Batman and connecting at all, huge respect. Number 9, Guardians of the Galaxy. I know. Marvel game license cash in, you already checked out. But this one snuck up on people. It's got a genuinely emotional through line about Star-Lord and his mom that the movies were too busy quipping to ever land. There's a scene involving a specific song and a specific memory that got me, an adult man, in a way a talking raccoon has no business doing. It's not top tier Telltale, but it's proof that even late era running on fumes Telltale could still find the human being inside a corporate mascot. And that's our number 9. Number 8, Minecraft Story Mode. Put the pitchforks down. Yes, it's Minecraft. Yes, it was made to sell to 8-year-olds. But here's the thing nobody wants to admit. It's a competently built adventure game that introduced a massive generation of kids to the entire concept of your choices changed the story. For a lot of people currently in their late teens, this was their first Telltale game. This was the gateway drug. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's art. I'm telling you it did a job. It did it well, and it's got a legacy way bigger than its Metacritic score. Number 7, Tales from the Borderlands. And this is where somebody in the comments loses their mind because for a lot of people, this is number 1. It's the funniest thing Telltale ever made. Reese and Fiona, the dueling narrator structure, the we're both lying to each other framing. It's a genuinely brilliant way to build a story around the fact that you, the player, are choosing what happened. The finger gun intro, the kiss my ass scene. If you know, you know. So why is it 7? Because we've got a stacked top 6, and I'm a monster. It's a masterpiece. It's my 7th favorite masterpiece, so just deal with it. Number 6, The Walking Dead Season 2. You play as Clementine now, the kid you spent the first game protecting, is suddenly the one making the impossible calls, and the game is relentless about putting a child in situations no child should be in. It's bleaker, meaner, and less tidy than the first season. And some of that is on purpose, and some of it is a studio starting to strain at the seams. It doesn't hit the highs of what's coming, but watching Clementine harden, watching the innocents get sanded off in real time, that stays with you. Number 5, The Walking Dead: A New Frontier. No, I'm messing with you. It's fine. It's genuinely just fine, and fine doesn't crack this list. Number 5 is The Wolf Among Us. Sorry, no it isn't. Stick with me. I'm doing a bit, and the bit is that I care too much about the order. Number 5 is actually The Walking Dead, a Telltale series. Michonne, and I'm kidding again, that's a mini-series. Get out of here. Okay, for real, number 5, Batman: The Enemy Within. The second Batman season, the one that actually worked, because the first Batman season made the list at 10 on ambition. But Enemy Within delivered on it, mostly thanks to its version of the Joker, who might be the best character Telltale ever wrote, that they didn't get from a comic panel directly. A Joker who becomes whatever you treat him as. Genuinely unsettling. Let me plant a flag here because we're about to hit the top 4 and I want you thinking about it while we climb. Every studio has a ceiling, and Telltale's ceiling wasn't a budget or an engine, it was time. Remember that. I'll get to the part where it gets genuinely bleak. Number 4, The Walking Dead, the final season. They almost didn't finish it. Halfway through releasing this game, the studio collapsed, laid everyone off, and Clementine's story, the story that started the whole company's golden era, which is going to end mid-sentence, no ending, servers off. A rival studio had to step in and let the original developers come back to finish it so the ending could actually exist. And knowing all that, the ending they landed is a gut punch. It's the studio finishing its most important story from beyond the grave. Number 3, The Walking Dead Season 1. This is the one that started everything. 2012. This is the game that took QuickTime Event and Dialogue Wheel, two things nobody was excited about, and turned them into the most emotionally devastating 5 hours in gaming that year. Lee and Clementine. The ending. You know the ending. I'm not going to say it out loud because some of you somehow still haven't played it, and I refuse to be the guy who does that to you. It won Game of the Year at basically everything. It created the entire Telltale formula. Every game we've talked about exists because this one worked. Which brings us to number 2, and then the one you already know. Number 2, Tales from the Borderlands. Nope, stop. I already did Borderlands. I told you I'm a monster. Number 2 is a tie in my heart that I'm going to resolve by picking 1, and it's The Walking Dead Season 1, which I put at 3. So that math doesn't work, and that's the point. The top 3 are so close that the ranking is basically emotional damage sorted by year. Number 2 officially, The Walking Dead Season 1 holds 3, so 2 goes to the game that's the most complete thing Telltale ever built, and that's a coin flip with number 1 that I'm choosing to lose on purpose. All right, I'll stop torturing you. Number 1, The Wolf Among Us. Of course it is. It was always going to be. You clicked on this video and you already knew, and you were right. Here's why it's not close for me. Every other Telltale game is a great story you play through. Wolf Among Us is a place, Fabletown, a noir where the fairy tale characters get exiled to a grimy 1980s New York and had to learn to pay rent. You're Bigby Wolf, the actual big bad wolf, working as the sheriff nobody trusts in a city that runs on a magic that's slowly dying, solving a murder that pulls a thread on the whole rotten system. The mood, the synthwave, the pink and teal color palette that every indie game spent the next decade trying to copy, the way it makes you feel like a good man doing bad things for the right reasons, or a bad man telling himself the same lie. It's the most style Telltale ever had, wrapped around the most confident storytelling they ever did. It is my number 1. It has been my number 1 for a decade, and in 2027, I finally get a second one. That's why we're here. So let me step off the gas for a second, because there's a version of this list that's just nostalgia, and that's not what this is. Think about what it actually took to make these games. Somewhere in a Telltale office around 2016, there was a writer, young, talented, thrilled to be there, working a 100-hour week to make you feel something about a cartoon wolf. And the way that studio was run, the crunch, the mismanagement, the churning out of 6 licensed games a year until the quality cracked and the money ran out, that writer got a layoff email with no severance in 2018. Everyone did. 250 people, gone in an afternoon. The tragedy of Telltale isn't that it died. Studios die. The tragedy is that it invented a genre, made you cry about zombies and wolves and a little girl in a baseball cap, and it treated the people who did that like they were disposable. The magic in these games was real. It came out of people who were being ground into dust to make it. And that's the part I sit with. The games are on this list because a bunch of humans burned themselves out believing that story mattered in a medium that kept telling them it didn't. Okay, so here's the part that turns the knife the good way. Those people, the ones who made the first episode of Wolf Among Us, the ones who got burned, a bunch of them started their own studio, Ad Hoc. And last year they put out a little episodic game called Dispatch with 0 marketing and no Game Pass deal, and it sold over 3 million copies from basically nothing. The exact genre the whole industry told them was dead. The people were never the problem. The management was. Now the genre they built has 2 shots at once. The crew that left, thriving on their own terms, and the resurrected studio finally bringing the wolf home in 2027. So that's the list. Batman, Guardians, Minecraft, Borderlands, Walking Dead Season 2, Enemy Within, the final season, Season 1, and the wolf on top where he belongs. This video pulled you away from re-downloading Season 1 to cry about Lee again. Go do that. Actually, it holds up. I'll wait. If it earned it, subscribe. I do this every week, and I'm normal about it, clearly. And I need your ranking in the comments, but I need it in a specific way. Not just your number 1. Tell me the one Telltale game everyone underrates, the one you'd fight for, the one that deserves to be higher than I put it. Go. I'll see you in the next one. Cyler, out.